Amber, George, just to give you a sense of how close Johnson and her sister-in-law were to this debris that came down crashing on these cars in front of them. As you can see, there's these 3 cars hit by this debris. Johnson and her sister-in-law were parked right where this silver car is right now. There's a few things you can do to stay safe. For one, video chat with the person you're about to meet up with. Because while the water may not look any different than it normally does right now, millions of tiny bacteria called E. coli are at a lot higher levels than where they need to be. You know, Amber, just looking at the size of some of these trees and branches that came down in this area, I mean, we are talking thousands of pounds of wood that was stripped off of these trees in just an instant.
Here's the Al Ringling Mansion, built in 1905-06.
But the main difference now is the severity of the storm. Right now, we're only dealing with about 1/4 of an inch of ice. With modern 3D imaging technology, they're able to bring some of the thousands of artifacts on the lake floor to life at our fingertips. Most of Henry's family lives here in Milwaukee, about 3 hours away, but they say they'll still be searching for him this weekend in Grant County. What we do know is that no one was hurt, luckily, and that's where I'm going to bring in reporter Grace Ulch. And Grace, you actually spoke to one of the families. Wow. So this used to be in there for years.
At least, yeah. It's the first time it's been out for a long time.
All right, let's put it back. Yep. And the process is really simple. It only takes about a minute. The first step is just go to covidtest.gov. Once you're there, you'll scroll down to the big blue button that says Order Free At-Home Test. Once the technology is done in the lab, it moves here to the demo scale, about 100 times larger, where the technology is proven to be ready for commercialization, a scale about 10,000 times larger than this. War. Those images of death and destruction from February 24th, 2022, a day many of us stayed glued to our television sets as the first full-scale invasion of a European country, Ukraine, unfolded before our unbelieving eyes.
Not many see war, but it's so scared, really scared. Yeah. I hope kids can't see this.
But for those who saw it firsthand, like the Babbage family currently taking refuge in Stoughton, those first few bombs meant the end to their everyday lives.
Many friends told me, Katya, warm start, you understand? We understand, but we can't believe this. It's Russia, it's our neighbor.
Before their long journey to the U.S., Katya and Zhenya Babbage, along with their 2 children, Nazar and Diana, lived normal lives. Zhenya had a car repair business. Katya was an administrator at a Christian school. But then, the unthinkable happened.
The 24th February, the Russians started bombing Ukraine, and we just take some of stuff and leave.
And I say, start. It's travel. Kids, it's okay. It's only travel. But she don't believe me. She understand because, yeah, it's not travel. It's not travel.
And so with little more than the clothes on their backs, the Babbage family joined the exodus of nearly 6.5 million people from Ukraine with nowhere to go but west. But country after country turned them away.
We just forgot to eat. We just don't eat maybe 2 days. Nothing. Just drinking. But not a lot, yeah.
Because so scared.
Eventually, they were offered temporary refuge in the Czech Republic, where after weeks of waiting, they suddenly got a break.
My friends in Ukraine who go in Czech Republic with us, she has a friend who live in Oregon. She said, I help you find
who can take us.
But then a friend of mine from that Thursday morning group sent an email saying, you know, this family really needs an American address. And I spoke to Diane, and the same day I said, give them our address. And then a few weeks later, they showed up in the middle of the night on the 13th.
For the next month, the Babbage family would call this home.
They're staying in their own apartment here in Stoughton now, where the U.S. government has granted them a 2-year stay. They still don't have a car or a job, but after 5 months on the run, finally, a fresh start.
How does it feel going to a new school in a new country?
I'm like a little bit scared because I don't know anybody, but like happy, exciting because I can have new friends.
There's no word on when they'll go back to Ukraine or if they ever will. They say for now, this is a pretty good substitute.
Here's like Almost all people are friendly.
And many people who now live in Staunton help us. Yeah, many people. Yeah, thank you all.
In Stoughton, Jolles, 27 News.